Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So, let's continue with our discussion on activity based costing. Our chapter number, how much? Sir, 5? Yes, the first was introduction, then material, then labor, then overheads, now activity based costing. So, we have to cover all in all 17 chapters, right? But you might say, sir, in the study material there are not 17 chapters. Yes, I know there are not 17 chapters. I have divided those chapters into 17, right? We'll be covering everything according to your study mat only. Don't worry about it, right? So, now we have been discussing about activity based costing, and I hope you are clear with the concepts. Whatever we discussed, the concepts about activity based costing, that how it is being done, right? What are the different stages, what are the different steps, what is the difference between overhead costing and activity based costing, then what is cost driver, then we discussed about the steps also, right? And in the last lecture we discussed two questions on activity based costing, right? This question number 1 and question number 2. So we have discussed it, that how we are to go about with the chapter. Clear, sir? So in this lecture we are going to wind up this chapter. This is a very small chapter, as I told you, right? In this lecture itself we are going to wind it up. The only important thing is that you need to remember the various steps, that how to solve the question, right? Steps in activity based costing, this is very important for you people to remember. Clear? And it becomes more clear when we are solving the practical questions, that how to do it. Identify the activities, identify the cost associated with the activity, identify the cost driver, identify the value of that cost driver, and then calculate the CDR. CDR is cost pool divided by cost driver, right? Then allocate the cost between the various products or various activities, right, based on the CDR. Clear? Sir, in the examination, can we do this kind of presentation? Yes, this is a presentation from the examination point of view only, right? So in the examination you can do this kind of presentation. That is absolutely perfect. You will get full marks if you are doing this kind of a presentation, right? Sir, what is the fun of studying if we are not going to study the presentation, that how to attempt the paper, isn't it? So you have to attempt it according to this part. Absolutely correct. Clear, sir? Sir, if we are done with the theory part or the concept part, and we are done with this practical part also, then what to do in this chapter, in this lecture? In this lecture, we have to do 2 more questions on the practical part, so that nobody can complain afterwards that, sir, you are not doing the practical part, right? Even then, if you are complaining, then it is your problem, not my problem, right? Then you can go and study from somewhere else. Okay, now we have to do question number 3 and question number 4. So first I'll be attempting question number 4, then we'll come on to question number 3, right? Let's see. KSJ Limited manufactures 3 products X, Y and Z, which are similar in nature and are usually produced in the production runs of 100 units, right? So what they do is they make a batch of 100 units and they put it into process altogether, right? 100 units. Simply put, if you have gone to a burger shop, you must have seen a big round, tawa or what you call it, right? They are making 10 burgers at one time, 10 to 20 burgers at one time, isn't it? That's one production run of those many burgers, right? Similarly, when we are talking about this manufacturing part, what they do is they pick together 100 units and they put into processing all together. That means the 100 units will be completed at one time. Okay. The overheads incurred during the year ended 31st of March 2020 are as follows. Machine shop expenses 8250, assembly shop expenses are given, setup cost is given, material handling cost is given, order processing dispatch is given, and inspection and quality control are given. Then units produced and sold are given to you for the various 3 products, right? Machine hours worked is given, assembly hours worked is given, customer order executed is given, and the number of requisition raised on the store are given to you. Clear, sir? Now, what is the first step? The first step is identification of activities, right? These are your activities. These are your activities, right, sir? We have identified the activities. What is the second step? Identify the cost associated with the activities. Now, this is your cost associated with cost of activities. Any doubt? Now, the third part. Sir, identify the cost driver. Sir, the cost drivers are not given directly in the question. What to do now? Now, here is the application of your mind. Application, journal, I can say the aptitude application. Right? How to do it? What is a cost driver? It is a factor on which the cost is dependent. The cost of that particular activity is dependent. Now, if we talk about the machine shop expenses, if I am going to talk about the machine shop expenses, can you tell me the driver, the cost driver on which this machine shop expenses will be dependent? Can you tell me that? Sir, from here, try to identify. From here, try to identify. I'm going to rub this. Right? Now, try to identify from here. The machine shop expenses are dependent upon which factor? The units produced, assembly hours, customer order executed, number of requisitions raised on the store, or the machine hours worked. Sir, the machine shop expenses will be dependent upon machine hours worked. Isn't it? What is a machine shop? Where the number of machines are working, and the expenses will be dependent upon the number of hours you are going to run the machine in that area. Isn't it? Am I wrong? No, sir. Next is assembly shop expenses. Now tell me, the assembly shop expenses will be dependent upon which factor? Sir, assembly hours worked. Assembly hours worked. Right? These are direct. Sir, setup cost. What is setup cost? Units produced and sold, machine hours, assembly hours, customers order executed. What is setup cost? Sir, setup cost is setting up of the machinery, setting up of the tools, equipments and all those things, right? Getting the things ready for production, number of requisitions raised on the stores. Tell me now, setup cost. Sir, there is no cost driver which is given for the setup cost. There is no. We can't take it on the units produced and sold. We can't take it on the machine hours, not on the assembly hours, not on customer orders executed, not on number of requisition. Then how to divide the setup cost? Sir, we will ignore it, sir. We will ignore it in the examination and give a note that there is no cost driver given for setup cost. That is why we have ignored it. And the examiner will give you a 0, a big egg. Right? Now, what are you, the setup cost? Why are you incurring the setup cost? Because you are getting the things ready for production, isn't it? So I can say my setup cost will dependent upon the number of production runs. Any doubt? Is this word used here? Sir, the production runs. That is why I circled it. That means the number of time you will be doing the production, you will be setting up the tools, right? If in a day you are having the 2 production runs, that means you are incurring the setup cost twice, right? So you need to be very careful, very open-minded while doing the questions. Each and every word has a meaning. Next is material handling cost. Sir, where do you keep the material? In the store. Where do you handle the material? In the store. Right, so it will be dependent upon the number of store requisitions. Number of store requisitions. See, in this question there is nothing else. The only thing is that how to identify the cost drivers. That's it. Otherwise, this question is similar to what we have done. Next, order processing and dispatch cost. Sir, it will be dependent upon the number of customer orders. Number of customer orders, right? Next, inspection and quality control cost. Now, it will again be dependent upon the number of production runs. Number of production runs. The more the number of production runs, the more will be the inspection and quality control cost. Because inspection you will be doing of what? Inspection you will be doing of while the production process is in place, right? When the product is being produced, you will do the inspection, you will do the quality check during the production process. So it will depend upon the number of production runs. Now it says you are required to prepare a statement showing the details of overhead cost allocated to each type of product using the activity based costing. That means whatever is this cost, this cost is to be allocated between X, Y and Z on the basis of ABC. Clear? Any doubts in this thing? So let's see the solution. I've already written the solution here. Cost pool, machine shop expenses. What is the total cost? What is the cost driver? Machine hours. Now, how to calculate the machine hours? Sir, you are going to take the total of this. Total of this will be the total machine hours. Isn't it? So, the total machine hour is 66,000. What is the CDR? That is the cost driver rate, 125. Similarly, assembly shop expenses, assembly hours, setup cost, number of production runs. Now, this is interesting. How to calculate number of production runs, sir? See. Let's see. Now, talking about X. How many units of X are produced? Units produced. Can you tell me the units produced? That is 20,000. Right? Now, can you tell me how many production runs will be there? In 100 units are produced in one production run. Any doubts in this? The question, the first line of the question specifies this. One production run, 100 units are produced, right? So 100 units are manufactured in one production run. So if you have to manufacture 20,000 units, how many production runs will be required? How many production runs will be required? 200, right? Now, coming to Y, 16,000 units. We'll talk about Y. Units produced 16,000, right? So 100 units are produced in one production run. So if you have to manufacture 16,000 units, how many production runs are required? 1 divided by 100 multiplied by 16,000, that will give you 160. Now coming to Z, how many? 24,000 units. Z, units produced is 24,000. 100 units are produced in one production run. So if you have to manufacture 24,000 units of Z, how many production runs are required? Multiplied by 24,000, that will give you 240. Now can you tell me the total production run? Total production runs, that is 200 for X, 160 for Y plus 240 for Z. This total is 600 production runs. Any doubt in this point? Any doubts in this? Right? X, Y and Z. Clear? Clear, sir? Right. So, my number of production run is 600. Material handling cost, number of requisitions raised on the store, 1000. 540 requisitions are raised. Order processing and dispatch cost, total number of customer orders, and CDR you have calculated. Inspection and quality again on the number of production run, that is 600 to 120, right? Then you have to just distribute this cost on the basis of that. Can you do it? The overhead allocation is simple as we have been doing. The very simple overhead allocation. Machine shop expenses on the basis of machine hours. For X, the number of machine hours for X are 15,000, and what is the cost per machine hour? That is 125. So 15,000 multiplied by 125. Similarly for Y and Z. Similarly for all the activities based on the driver rate. Any doubts? Now the further question is same as what we have done. Clear? Be careful. Here we have to take the number of production runs. 200 production runs multiplied by 300 per production run. How to calculate the production run? This is how we have calculated the production runs. 200, right? Then we have 160. Then we have 240. This is what is taken here. 200, 160, 240. Right, sir? So you can do it. Right? Very simple. The only point here was the identification of activities, right? Cost driver. Activities were given to you. The only point was the identification of cost drivers, right? So these kind of questions can be asked in the examination. That is why I have taken up this kind of a question where the cost drivers are not directly given, but you have to identify the cost drivers with each activity. This is very, very important. Right, sir? Now, let's come to question number 3, and that is the last question of this chapter. With this, we are going to wind up this chapter, right? Let's see. Pooja Limited produces and sells 4 products P, Q, R and S. These products are similar and usually produced in the production run of 100 units and sold in the batch of 50 units. Right? Again, there is a production run of 100 units. Be careful. The production and the cost detail of these products for the quarter ending this are as follows. Production units 1000, 1100, 1200, 1500. Direct material cost is given, direct labor cost is given, and machine hours per unit are given. Machine hours per unit are given. Can you tell me, if we talk about the total machine hours, can you tell me? If here I want to know the total machine hours. Per unit, 0.5 is the machine hour. How many units you have produced? 1000. So the total machine hours attributable to P are 500. Any doubt? 440, 360 and 600. So the total machine hours are 1900. Clear, sir? Let's see. The manufacturing overheads incurred during the period are as follows. Factory work expenses, stores receiving, machine setup, quality control and material handling. Cost driver for these overheads are given below. Sir, the question is easy. The cost drivers are given to us. Wow. Okay, the factory work expenses, machine hours, stores receiving cost, requisition raised, machine setup, number of production runs, quality control, number of production runs, material handling cost, number of orders executed. The number of requisitions raised on the store was 25 for each product, for one product. For 4 products, the number of requisitions will be 25 multiplied by 4, 100. The number of orders executed was 96. Each order was in a batch of 50 units. You are required to calculate total cost and the per unit cost of each product, assuming the absorption of overheads on machine hour rate basis. Now, this part is of overhead costing. This is not about the activity based costing. This is, he says, the absorption is to be done on the machine hour basis and not activity based costing. Second part, he says calculate total cost and per unit cost of each product, assuming the absorption of the overheads by using activity based costing. Now, these kind of questions are often asked in the examination, where they ask you to calculate the cost as per the absorption costing, that is overhead costing, which we have already studied, and to calculate the cost as per activity based costing, that is according to the cost drivers. Are you getting the point? Right? Now, how to do as per overhead costing? See, in the overhead costing, what we do is direct material is given to you, direct labor is given to you. The only thing that you need is you need to divide these 22,80,000 between P, Q, R and S on the basis of machine hours, right? So if we talk about overhead costing, now if we are talking about the overhead costing, in the overhead costing, how you calculate the overhead absorption rate? If you want to divide this 22,80,000 between all the 4 products, that means you need to calculate the overhead absorption rate, right? So you will calculate the overhead absorption rate. How you calculate is total overheads divided by total machine hours. Total machine hours. What is my total overheads? This is 22,80,000. What is my total overheads? Now, are you getting the point why I calculated the total machine hours? Right? There might be a question in the mind when I was writing this total machine hours, sir, what is the need of these total machine hours? Now you're getting the point. Do not take 0.5 plus 0.4 plus 0.3 plus 0.4. That is for 1 unit. And the overheads are for all the units. So that means I need the machine hours for all the units. When we did the chapter of overhead costing, there also I told you both the parameters should be same. right? If the overheads are for 1 unit, the machine hour will be for 1 unit. If the overheads are for all the units or for the whole year, the machine hours are to be taken accordingly, right? If you are taking overheads of 22,80,000, which are for all the products, all the units produced, the machine hours also have to be total, that is 1900. So here you will get the overhead absorption rate, that is 22,80,000. 1 second. 22,80,000 divided by 1900, this will be 1200. Now if we talk about overhead costing, direct material, direct labor, you will take it directly, no issues in that, right? What about the overheads? Overheads is 0.5 per machine hour multiplied by 1200, that is the rate, isn't it? Multiplied by 1200. Similarly for QRS, you will get the per unit cost, multiplied by number of units, you will get the total cost. Let's see. Question number 3. First, the overhead recovery rate. Total overheads divided by total machine hours, that is 1900, 1200 per machine hour. Now, output in the units is given to you. Material cost per unit is given to you. Labor cost per unit is given to you. Manufacturing overheads at the rate of rupees 1200 per machine hour. So 0.5 into 1200, 600. 0.4 into 1200, 480. 0.3 into 1200, 360. 0.4 into 1200, 480. So you are getting the total cost per unit. Multiplied with the number of units, you will get the total cost. Any doubts? Right? A very simple question of overhead costing, sir. No primary distribution required, no secondary distribution required. The only thing is you are given the total overheads of the primary departments, I can say, right? So you just have to calculate the overhead recovery rate. Now, coming to the most important part, how to do it by activity based costing. You are given the expenses and their cost drivers, right? This is your activity. This is your activity, right? This is your cost pool. Any doubts? Right, sir? So what you have written? You have written all the activities. You have written the cost associated with the activity, that is my cost pool. Activity cost pool. Cost driver given to you, sir. Machine hours, requisitions raised, number of production runs. Number of production runs, again, number of orders executed. Number of orders. Now, machine hours. How to calculate this machine hours, sir? Machine hours given to you, sir, 1900. We calculated now. 1900. Total cost divided by the cost driver rate, that is 1900. Now, requisitions raised. Read the question carefully. He says for each product, he says for each product there were 25 requisitions, right? If for each product, for 4 products, how many requisitions? 25 multiplied by 4, 100 requisitions in total. See, 100 requisitions in total. Any doubts? Third part is machine setup cost and quality control cost. It is to be dependent upon the number of production runs. Sir, how to calculate this now? How to calculate the number of production runs, sir? Sir, if we talk about P, let's talk about P. Right? How many units manufactured? Units produced? Can you tell me the units produced? 1000. Now the question says 100 units are manufactured in one production run. So 1000 units will be manufactured in how many production runs? 10. Any doubts in this thing? Right? So if we write here the 10 production runs, here 11 production run, here 12 production runs, divided by 100, simple, 15 production runs. What is the total? Total 48 production runs. Clear? These are the production runs and this is how it is to be calculated. For P I have calculated, for QRS you can calculate easily. So divided by 100 because there is 100 units in one production run. So for 1100 units, how many production runs are required? That is right. So 48 production runs, 48 production runs, and 9 material handling cost. Number of orders executed, it is given to you in the question, sir. 96 orders were executed. So 96. Now the cost is to be divided. Output is given. Machine hours we have calculated already, sir. Total machine hours we have calculated 1900. Number of production runs of 100 units 10, 11, 12, 15 calculated. Number of store acquisitions given 25 for each product. Number of orders executed of 50 units is how many orders are executed, right? Total are 96. It is given that the total are 96, but how many in each part? How many orders executed for each product? If you are manufacturing 1000 units and in one I can say order there are 50 units, sir, simply saying 50 units is equal to one order, isn't it? So if you are selling 1000 units, so how many orders are required? 20. Simple. Any doubts? Right? So this is how 20 is calculated. That is 1000 units divided by 50. This is 1100 units divided by 50, and this is 1200 units. 1200 units divided by 50, and 1500 units divided by 50. The total will be 96, that is given. Direct material per unit, labor you have, right? Total cost you can. Now manufacturing overheads, factory overheads expenses based on machine hours, right? So B multiplied by 473.68. 473 is the CDR that we have calculated. 473. B means the total machine hours per product. That is, we have to just distribute now, right? You can do it in any format. Material handling, quality control, total cost per unit is divided by number of units. Any doubts? Steps remains the same, sir. Difference you can show. Not an issue. Are you getting the point? Right? The questions are very, very simple. Why I'm hushing through it? You might be saying, sir, hushing through. Sir, these are simple things we have already discussed in detail in the last lecture, that how to do it. Direct material labor is given to you. How you will calculate overheads, that will be dependent upon the various activities, right? Then activity value multiplied by CDR. Simple. Any doubts? Clear? So with this, we end this chapter of activity based costing. I hope the concepts are clear to you, right? We have tried to do the practical problems also. We have done 4 practical problems, and I have not given even a single homework in this, right? So all these are your practical problems, sir. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? Sir, you can mail me at ksjteaching@gmail.com. Right? Now, what do you have to do next? Next, you have to do is practice the question from the KSJ handbooks. You will get some very good questions on ABC. Right? You have to practice it from the handbooks, plus you have to practice it from the ICAI study mat. Right? ICAI study mat, you will not get these questions from the practice manual. So you have to practice it first from the ICAI study mat. And we have a course separately for ICAI study mat questions, as you all know, right? Which is available on the mobile app and also through the website if you want to play it on the laptops. But that course is equally very, very, very important course. And what I am planning is, I'm planning for one major course for all of you. That course will remain in English only. First, I'll launch that course in English. That will cover your study mat, that will cover your practice manual, that will cover your approximately last 7 to 8 years previous year questions, that will cover your last 7 to 8 years RTP and MTP. The MTP started later on, right? Whatever MTPs are there, we are going to cover that also chapter wise. I'm going to make lectures on that. I'll provide you with the files also, right? And I'm going to provide you with the in-depth discussion on each of these. And if you can cover those things, I can bet you that you are bound to score 70 plus marks in costing. Nobody can beat you in costing. That is my promise. These concepts are going to be absolutely free of cost on YouTube for all of you. And if you can understand the concept, practice these YouTube questions, and practice from the KSJ handbook and listen to those lectures, I think you are bound to get 17, if not 70, 80 plus. 80 plus you can easily score in cost accounting. You can beat all the records. That is my promise to all of you. And I will, make that discussion such a in a simpler way, but touching all the important aspects. That is, we'll be covering each and everything in that course, right? And if you want that course, give a thumbs up in the comment section that yes sir, we want that course. We have already started working on that course, don't worry about it, but yes, still we want to know how many people are interested in that course. That will be a paid course available on the mobile app, because a lot of efforts will be put in to make that course, right? So everything can't be free of cost. This regular course is free of cost for you, but those courses will be paid. But yes, the charges will be very, very nominal, right? Very genuine prices we will keep, so that all of you are able to take those courses. And yes, that course will be available in English first of all, right? So that everybody is able to understand. So with this, we complete this chapter of activity based costing. Now, from the next lecture, what we are going to do is, which chapter sir? Next lecture, new chapter, that is cost sheet. Easy chapter, interesting chapter, small chapter, very interesting chapter, right? So from the next lecture, we'll be starting with the cost sheet, 3 to 4 lectures on the cost sheet, right? But an important chapter, need to understand the small things in this chapter of cost sheet, right? But we'll try to explain it in the simplest of the ways with the basic examples and all those things, as we already have been doing, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.